यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य
ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः सर्वोपप्लवरहित प्रज्ञान गण प्रत्यगर्थो ब्रह्माहमस्मि सोहमस्मि ब्रह्माहमस्मि। ओम प्रपन्न पारिजाताय तोत्र वेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। My best wishes and Paripurna Ashirvadam, all kinds of prosperity, wealth, health and eternal happiness to you and your family members. So in the Bhagavad Gita we had completed the 5th chapter in the last session. Now we will have a summary of the 5th chapter. The name of the 5th chapter is known as Sannyasa Yoga or Karma Sannyasa Yoga. And this analysis about karma, it began from the 2nd chapter. In the 2nd chapter, there are famous verses: Karman eva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phalahetar bhoho ma te sangostva karmani. Then yogasthah kur karmani sangam tektva dhananjaya siddhya sadhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga vichyate. These verses, they introduces the subtlety of the karma. So no animal wants to discuss about this topic of karma. No need, even no cows, no elephant, so no lion, no animal discuss this topic. Then why do we discuss? Because there is a secret in the karma. We do karma in order to satisfy our urges. And why one should perform the action? Karma means action. So why should we perform the action? In order to earn money. Why should you earn money? That's what life is. Who said? Who said earning money is the life? No, then alone I can survive. Acha. So then you mean survival is the life? Yes, survival like what? Like a slave? Because body has got its own urges, needs. You fulfill those needs and urges. And also body and mind has got fear. In order to come out of the fear, you do something from outside. Do you do or not? Because do we have insecurity? In order to come out of that insecurity, we work. Therefore, Krishna is very clear. You have to analyze about the karma, because you find yourself in the beginning as a slave of karma. You cannot withdraw yourself karma. The condition, you are a slave. That's what. This is how it was introduced. The topic began, you are the slave. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatatitthatya karma krut. No one can free from karma even for a single minute. This is how Krishna began, but finally he says, you can get rid of karma. That's the completeness in this topic. Now first Krishna says you have to be very clear about your goal. And there are goals very attractive. And our schools, colleges, societies, families, they also introduce goal. Parents introduce the goal, you should become doctor or engineer. So in India only these two are very famous. To be a doctor, to be an engineer. And go and study for CA. Now IIT field, to be a software engineer or hardware engineer. These are not target. These are the means to achieve some target. That target is to satisfy the self, to satisfy the family, to take care of, to survive. See, all the actions based on survival. The survival based actions are not considered as action in the Shastra. It goes beyond that, it discusses beyond that. Now you should have the open mind and patience in your buddhi to analyze it because it's so subtle. The topic began from the second chapter after introducing Brahma Vidya. First, one should realize who he is. So, at least as the information, you should know certain truth about the fact about yourself. Then you can analyze. Then you will get the eligibility to analyze what the karma is. So, everything is because of karma. So, it's easy to say. So very difficult to understand. Everything is because of karma. Oh, then terrorist also because of karma, and all this terrorism all because of karma, and glories are because of karma. Yes, of course, everything is because of karma. To accept the fact, you need to have the maturity. So once you have this maturity, you can continue this analysis, the analysis by which you can improve. The self-improve is the best thing that you can have in the human body. Therefore, I said no animal discusses about this topic because they are instinct, swabhavikataya, they are very like slave jantus, beings. So, Krishna brings this topic gradually and he ends in a proper manner by giving Sannyasa Yoga. The title itself is eye-catching. You know, in India, Sannyasa means everybody think that saffron. No, Sannyasa means what Krishna talks here, the inner Sannyasa, the liberation, that which is the fruit of Jnana Yoga. Okay, first Krishna says, be clear with your goal. Certain goals are attractive in engage. So when you are a kid, you are attracted towards this edible or the object by which you can play. That play material, edible objects are attractive. So once you grow, you are attracted with the bike, car and so many other things. So that adultery has to be passed with so many this opposite gender attraction even. Then you come across, once you got married, so you are attracted with some other goals. Now, after getting progeny means children, your goal have been changed. That's what your mind by the age, by the status in the society, your mind becomes mature to realize what the world is. You need to grow from inside to set a goal. And so many varieties of goals are there. So we can categorize them into only 4 categories. So even among these 4 categories, only 2 categories of goals are pursued. Those are in order to gain security, in order to gain pleasure. So long back I introduced this topic, but here the topic is concluded. Especially this 5th chapter is a summary of all those 4 chapters which we have completed. 1st and 2nd and 3rd and 4th. Even 1st chapter also is considered because a king who is finding the problem with his inner strength, that inner strength, it provokes him to commit a mistake. It means what? The karma is supported or driven by the inner force. Therefore, Arjuna's condition also to be taken. A person's action who is confused, it cannot be clear. It cannot give the clarity and it cannot give the proper impact in the society. When you are confused, your karma also will be confused. When your karma is confused, the fruit will also be chaos. Then the fruit which you get by the action which is performed with confusion, definitely it will bring hell. Therefore, intelligent people should analyze the topic of karma. Karma means action. Action means it exists everywhere. The body is the fruit of action. Now, Krishna says, forget about all those things. Are you aware about the human goals? You need to have the security. For that alone, you gain everything. You earn money, you earn relatives, you go for a job, and you want to be secured. Therefore, you need to have more power. Whatever that you make as the efforts only to get security. Once you are secure, your next goal goes to gain the pleasure. Pleasure means happiness. So, happiness is our second goal. There are 4 goals. Among them, this first goal is to get security. The second one is to get happiness. The third one is called dharmarthe. In order to get dharma. In order to get dharma means what? Through achieving punya phala, one can gain the security and pleasure. That's what a Vedic style. Dharma is the third, but dharma has to be in the beginning. Dharmartha kama moksha is the last one. So moksha is the ultimate goal. That ultimate goal may not be attractive right now to you, but that is the goal. All attractive things, they will take you to the end that will begin for something else. So there is no end for it. So one end will be the cause of another beginning. Another beginning will bring the new end. New end will begin new starting. That's how you are continuing with the world. But moksha is the destination. It can be the destination. It is the destination. It has to be the destination for your life. Once you fix your moksha is the destination, now you are eligible to select and inquire about karma. Now Krishna says there are only 2 kinds of nishtas, lifestyles are available. That's what the first topic. There are 4 topics which have been analyzed, which have been unfolded by Lord Krishna. The first topic is 2 kinds of nishtha, lifestyles which exist in the Bharat, in the human being. They are known as pravritti paraha, nivritti paraha, grihastha ashrama or sannyasa ashrama. Married life or the life which endows with renunciation. These 2 lives, why only 2 lives? Because in the previous chapter he introduced there are 4 varnas, 4 kinds of lifestyle. No, only 2 kinds of lifestyles. Other 2 are the preparatory lifestyles for these 2 lifestyles. Now brahmacharya ashrama is to prepare for sannyasa ashrama. Vanaprastha ashrama is to prepare for sannyasa ashrama. So this brahmacharya ashrama, which is the period for study, so you can study well. Either you can go for this married life or you can choose this sannyasa life, but you have to be aware about your decision. You need to be informed by some rishis or some guru. You need to be taught according to your nature. You have to select. These first 2 lifestyles were introduced. Both of them are equally valid, and this importance must be given. But entirely they are different with each other. So they do, both of them, they do have plus and minus. In a married life, I mean grihastha life, you will have the people, you at least have a superficial security. It may not be true, but you have people around you, so you may have vyavaharika security, and you can have money, wealth, and the security from money, security from the wealth, security from the relatives, and security from the insurance company. So all these you can have, but you won't have freedom from the duties, because lots of duties are said, prescribed for a grihastha. Grihastha is the backbone of the society, who should take care of brahmacharya ashramavasis, and who should take care of vanaprasthis, and who should take care of sannyasis. But this sannyasa life, it also has got plus and minus. So grihastha has got the security, vyavaharika security, but he has lots of duties, the minus. So therefore, always grihastha people, they murmur, sometimes they become fed up with the duties. Because they think, everybody think that when we get married, so we get that particular, we get married with only that particular person, girl or boy, but they forget that they are getting connected with one lineage, a group of people, so many sampradayas are involved, so many functions, relatives, and everything has to be responded well. In the sannyasa, sannyasa is the life which is endowed with seclusion. Nobody will be there for sannyasi, no bank balance, no security system, and the life has to be continued as isolated one. Means isolated mean what I mean? So separately, as a single personality, he has to lead the life. That is, it is considered as a minus point, but it depends on the person. If that person knows what is Ishwaratvam, then Ishvara will give security. That is the minus point. If a person selects the sannyasa ashrama without the qualification, for him dukkham aptum ayogataha, he will become hell for himself or for others even. Therefore, these both lifestyles have been introduced by Lord Krishna because the Arjuna was so confused. The second topic was two kinds of means, sadhanau were introduced. Two kinds of means for moksha. They are not two kinds of means, they are two kinds of steps. This Arjuna was confused. Karma yoga was the first mean sadhana. The Jnana Yoga is the second means, which is also sadhana. Sadhana means spiritual activity in order to gain the progress. Now, Karma Yoga is the first step. Jnana Yoga is the second step. So, you cannot say this both are both paths and those paths are meeting in one point. Both will eligible to provide moksha. No. Karma Yoga means it will give Chitta Shuddhi, purity, preparation for Jnana Yoga. Jnana Yoga will give moksha. This Karma Yoga nicely summarized by Lord Krishna. Whatever he said in the chapter 2nd, 3rd and 4th, he summarized very beautifully, so that in 2 minutes we can see that when you enter into Karma Yoga, two things you have to be aware: the proper action and proper attitude. You have to avoid improper action. You have to make yourself to be endowed with proper action. So what is proper and improper actions? Though Vedas introduced 5 kinds of actions to be informed to the human being what are the nitya karma, naimittika karma, prayashchitta karma, kamya karma, nishiddha karma. But these five can be categorized into three gunas: satvika karma, rajasika karma, tamasika karma. So now, once you want to grow with your action, means once you want to improve yourself through action, action is the best means to get maturity. That is the only way you can become mature, you can become qualifier for Jnana Yoga. Jnana Yoga is the second step. If somebody says that I will follow only first Jnana Yoga, then I will follow Karma Yoga. No, first Karma Yoga to be prescribed. And there are people, they also introduce, there are four kinds of yogas: Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Raja Yoga, and Jnana Yoga. No, they are not four, only two are prescribed here. Bhakti, it is needed for Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga. And Raja Yoga means to be endowed with Upasana. That comes as the sixth chapter. Once you learn the sixth chapter, you will understand even Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga both have to be nourished by this meditation method, which is known as Raja Yoga. Now, Karma Yoga to be followed, in the Karma Yoga means there are two things must be aware: proper action. I have to remove the improper action. What are the improper action? Improper action, which is known as tamasika actions. So what is that tamasika actions? So whatever in Puranas we study as the actions from demon. So we study even in Ramayana, Mahabharata, or in 18 Puranas, so many Rakshasas, Asuras, demons were introduced. All of them, they just gave pain to others. They just threaten others. Life which is endowed with the himsa is considered as a tamasika action. A karma yogi who wants to use the karma for the spiritual progress should avoid this kind of action. We should not harm anybody. Ahimsa paramo dharmaha, to be observed. And you have to be also careful in order to negate this tamasika action, means improper action. You have to be endowed with proper action. In order to be endowed with the proper action, satsanga is the best way. What is the satsanga means? There is a group in which sad vishayas, sad karyani is performed. Satsangatve nitsangatvam, nitsangatve nirmohatvam, nirmohatve nischalitatvam, nischalitatve jivan mukti. Bhaja govindam, bhaja govindam, govindam bhaja mudhamate. There Acharya says satsanga, so there it is the crowd won't lead you to the wrong action. There are so many crowds in your life. The crowd in the marriage, the crowd in the cinema theater, the crowd in the mall, the crowd in the parties, and the crowd in the excursions. All those crowd will begin some new aspects of your life, and all of them will bring sangha, attachment. But this satsanga, which helps you to gain the detachment, a sangha to gain detachment. Okay, the sangha which gives you a sangha, that's what known as satsanga. You have to be endowed with satsanga. So where shastra pathanam is on, where shastras are taught, shastras are discussed, shastras are learnt and done parayana. So this Shastra Pathanam through Satsanga will help you to be endowed with proper karma. That proper karma you just come across from tamas to rajasika. In the rajasika karma also there is himsa. This himsatmikam rajasikam karma to be avoided. Rajasika karma means, this Ravaneshwara. All the kings who give importance to their egos for the power, for the money, for the name and fame, whatever you make the actions in order to get power, name and fame, money, they are considered as a Rajasika action. You have to avoid them too. Then what is Sattvika Karmani? Sattvika Karmani means the karmas which help for inner growth, even outer growth, and spreading love, giving security to others, and not for longing security, giving security for others, and to be maintained with proper emotions, love and patience, and karuna, compassion towards others. In order to show the compassion and the life which is dedicated to Ishvara is known as Sattvika Karmas. Now this is Karma Yoga. When you leave Tamasika Karma, when you leave Rajasika Karma, you can be endowed with Sattva Karma. Nitya Sattvasto Bhava Niryoga Kshemavan Bhava. That's what suggestion from Krishna. It is said in the 2nd chapter, but the summary has given in the 5th chapter. And Karma Yogi should also adapt proper attitude in the action or with the action. What is the attitude? He should remain himself in Sattvika Karma, but with the Bhavana attitude, which said in the 3rd, 4th chapter, Karma Bhavana. I mean Yajna Bhavana. Yajnarthat karmanon yatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha. Yajna Bhavana means a bhavana, an attitude. So this offering to Lord, whatever you do, just offer, surrender to the Lord. That has to be the attitude. That attitude will come gradually. Once you get prasada buddhi, prasada, you have to consider everything is nothing but prasada, a gift, a boon from Ishvara. Then slowly you can develop to this yajnarthe karmanaha with yajna bhavana. This yajna bhavana is the proper attitude and the sattvika karma is proper action. Both together will bring a proper impact. That fruit is known as chitta shuddhi, purity in your mind. That is the qualification for the next step, which is known as jnana yoga. That jnana yoga is the final, means a second step for the spiritual progress. In the Jnana Yoga, so what to be done? What is said in the Jnana Yoga? Then Bhagavan Krishna says, he just realizes about himself. First, he pursued the Ishvara. There is Ishvara. Just he realizes everything is because of Ishvara. Then he realizes about himself. And in the third step, he realizes God and him, there is no space, there is no gap, one and the same. That is what Jnana Yoga is. From verse number 13 onwards, he gives this knowledge up to verse number 21. Jnana Yoga, proper self-identification and proper Ishvara's identification and proper Aikya Bhava between Ishvara and the self. In simple way, I can say one who realizes his real self and also one who could realize the self of the universe called Ishvara, and one who can identify both. It's known as Jnana Yoga. Once he gets that Jnana, then he gets Samatva. What is Samatva? Said Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavyahastini Shuni Chaiva Swapake Cha Pandita Samadarshinaha. He who can have Samadarshana, equal perception to all the creatures, that is what known as Jnana Phalam. Now you see, whether you select Grahasthashrama means married life or Sannyasashrama means the life which is renunciated. So both has to undergo these two kinds of steps, Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga. Once you go through proper Karma Yoga, you will get purity of the mind. That is the qualification of Jnana Yoga. Once you go under the Jnana Yoga, you will get to know what is liberation. You will attain the liberation. That was the topic. The first two lifestyles, the second two kinds of means for moksha. The third topic was the prayojana of this Jnana Yoga. So what is the benefit we get out of Jnana Yoga? Means he gets completeness. He is out of all kinds of karma phala. He is Jivan Muktaha alone. That was introduced and narrated, established well. Finally, he began to talk about meditation. It was the final topic of 5th chapter, so which is the introduction for the 6th chapter. In the meditation, he introduces two kinds of terms, Upasana and Nididhyasanam, that we will continue from the next session. Harihi Om. We will see you tomorrow in the next episode. Hari Om. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ